Hi friend, I am Harish Kamble. In this video, I am going to explain about gene interaction and complementary genes. In these following points, I am going to cover allelic gene interaction, non-allelic gene interaction, and complementary genes and its ratio 9:7. Gene interactions. Gene T for height, suppose, and gene R for shape. These are the two genes, gene T for height and gene R for shape. So T genes, there are two forms or two alleles, capital one and small t. Small t is for dwarf and capital T is for tallness. So these T and T, capital T and small t, when interact with each other, they are called as allelic interactions because both genes decided the same character and with same letters, T letters. So they are allelic, they are called as allelic interactions. Same way the gene R for shape and the R, there are two alleles, capital R and small r, means dominant and recessive. When these alleles interact with each other, means cross with each other, that type of interaction is called as allelic type of interaction. So one gene produce one characters. One gene means T produce height, R produce shape, but shapes are different. Shapes are maybe round, shape may be wrinkled. And here T for height. Heights are also tall and dark. So the cross between their forms means TT, called as allelic interaction, RR allelic interaction. But in some conditions, in many time, many genes decided one characters. If many genes come together and produce one character, here the gene C and gene P, these are the two different genes but they work for a same character. Gene C and P produce the color. So here the gene C and gene P are totally different. When they interact with each other, that type of interaction is called as non-allelic interaction. That type of interaction is called as non-allelic interaction. In the complementary genes, there are gene C produce a enzyme. This is the enzyme which is produced by gene C. Genes always produce protein or enzymes. This is the function of genes. So gene C's function is production of enzyme. So the gene produces the enzyme, and this enzyme is helpful in colorless chromogen substance productions. So these enzymes converted base protein into colorless chromogens, a special type of substance, but this is a colorgen. So this is the function of gene C. Because of gene C, colorless chromogen is formed. This is the proteins form, colorless chromogen protein is formed because of gene C. And the gene P, the function of gene P produce the enzyme. This enzyme is produced by gene P, and the enzymes work on colorless chromogen converted into anthocyanin pigment. So this anthocyanin pigment is responsible for color. So because of both genes, gene C and gene P is responsible for production of color. How? Because of gene C, chromogen is developed and this chromogen is converted into color by the enzyme produced by gene P. Suppose gene C is absent. Gene C is absent, no formation of colorless chromosomes, and if the colorless chromosome is absent, then there is a no formation of color. There is a no formation of color. So color production is depend on gene C and gene P. Suppose the gene P is a not function properly, it is a recessive. That time gene P cannot produce the enzyme, and if the enzyme is absent, colorless chromosomes cannot be converted. Colorless chromosome cannot be converted into the anthocyanin pigments. The main function of gene P is production of enzyme, and if these enzymes main function is conversion of colorless chromosome into anthocyanin. If the enzyme is absent, no formation of anthocyanin, and because of not formation of anthocyanin pigment, there is a no development of the color. So color development is depends on gene P and gene C. If the both genes are present, then color develop. So that these genes are called as complementary genes. Complementary genes means the both genes are required for production of color. So the other complementary genes are the genes required to develop a character. Both genes are all genes in which is required to develop a character are called as complementary genes. In this condition, C and P both genes are called as complementary genes. These genes, P genes and C genes, are called as complementary gene. See example, if white color flower producing plants, we are taken male and females, but their genotypes are different. Phenotypes are white color, and genotypes are in this plant there are capital C presence and recessive P presence. In this plant there are recessive, this is the recessive, and this one is a capital P presence. So the condition is different. This is called as phenotypes, this is called as genotypes of the parents. Phenotypes means we observe the characters, and genotypes means the genes inside the plants. These parents when crossed, they form a single type of gametes. Gametes is always half. This parent produce a single type of gametes. Here small c and capital P should be there. This is wrong. Small c and capital P developed by this parent, and capital C and small p developed by these parents. When these two come together, gametes. So here capital C, small c, capital P and small p. First generation develop capital C, small c, capital P, small p. So in the F1 generation, they form heterozygous condition. One is capital, means one is dominant recessive, dominant recessive, dominant recessive. Here only in the parent there are only one pair was dominant, another was recessive. So this one is a purple color developed. Here color is developed. See here purple color. In the F1 generation there is a purple color developed. Purple color developed in the F1 generation. Parents were white color, but the first generation was purple color. If the first generation is crossed, what happens? This parent produce four type of gametes. This parent produce four type of gametes, male and female. Four types of gametes formed here. Then this and this two types of gametes come together, this one and this one, produce CCPP. This and this when come together form, from this gamete C and from this gamete C, CC dominant one, this gametes P, this gametes small p. So here condition is happens capital C, capital C, capital P, small p from these gametes. So here at least two out of two genes, one genes may be capital. So capital C produce chromosome and capital P converted this chromosome into color. So the color develop purple. So this condition purple color develop. Here in this condition white color develop. How white color develop? See, here capital C produce chromosome, but there is a no capital P for conversion of this chromosome into color. So this is a recessive. One pair of gene is only dominant and one is recessive. So at least one gene required for production of color. So capital C is there but not a dominant genes here. Because of that condition only chromosome develop in this plant and no color develop. So the color of flowers of these plants are white. Here at least one, this C and capital P is present, at least one gene is present, so the color develop. Here this is a recessive, because of that color is not developed. Here is also color is not developed. So that's way in the summary there are 9 out of 16 types, 9 types is purple color and 6 are white color. So sorry, 7 are white color. In the last condition there is a 4 genes are recessive, there is a no dominant, so there are also white color developed. So the ratio is 9:7. So in the complementary gene we can summarize this. In the complementary genes both genes required for production of color. If one gene is missing or recessive, color is not developed. So this is a denoted from the Mendel's dihybrid ratio 9:3:3:1, but here the dihybrid ratio is 9:7. Thank you.